Let me make sure we're all good here. Looks like we are. What is up, everybody? I'm Brandon, and
I've already messed up.
no, it's fine.
I'm Barbara.
Barbara. Okay. Also known as AcrylicKitty.
Okay.
Today, we're actually going to be talking about the Gypsy Rose case. It's something that Barbara's like really passionate about. I got some feelings about it too. So I just thought it'd be fun for us to like go down a timeline and just kind of, talk about everything that happened. Right, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Talk
so...
is the key word.
Huh?
Talk is the key word
Yeah,
here.
talk. Yep. All right, so let's just get into it. So, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, the supposed victim of child abuse and the convicted murderer of her own mother, Mia Blanchard.
No, her name wasn't Mia, it was Claudine.
No, I think it was Mia.
No, it was Claudine and she went by Dee Dee.
Yeah, Dee Dee. Yep,
Yeah.
Mia Dee Dee. Okay, we'll just call her Dee Dee. Because I'm pretty sure everything I looked at it said Mia, but I could be wrong. So
wrong.
We'll just call her Dee Dee. So, Dee Dee Blanchard, right?
Yes.
Well, back on December 28th of 2023, Gypsy Rose was set free.
And ironically about that, I was one of the people that said she should be set free because of what her mother did to her. And now I have a completely different stance.
Do you?
Yes.
And I completely understand that. So, what we want to do is we're gonna actually just go ahead and start from the beginning, which is her birthday, right? July 27th, 1991, and she is born a healthy baby, no problems whatsoever. By two, obviously she was given birth to by two parents, obviously. One being Rod and the other being Dee Dee. Well, the only thing that's weird about that is Rod is like 17 at the time when he meets Dee Dee, who is 24 at the time. And right off the bat there, that just seems very strange to me, doesn't it?
She wanted somebody she could control.
Yeah, you think so? I mean, that's like border pedophile status, I feel.
Yes, but when we get further into it, you will see that Dee Dee is all about control, just like her mother was.
Very true. But I mean, I don't know, man. There's something not right there already,
Yes.
Luckily, though, it seems Rod had some balls on him, because shortly after they got married, he literally woke up one day and was like, you know what? I'm not in love, and I think I made a terrible decision. It was literally quoted. He's quoted in saying on his 18th birthday, he woke up and realized, I wasn't where I was supposed to be. I wasn't genuinely in love with her. I knew I had married for the wrong reasons. And thank God he saw that coming, right? Thank God he got out of that situation.
He dodged a bullet.
He really did. He really, really did. And I don't know if that's because, he was just young, or if maybe he could already see Dee Dee's just weird demeanor and the way that she was controlling him, but I would not be surprised whatsoever if that's really what was going on there. Don't you think?
Yeah, like, the thing about Dee Dee is Dee Dee was always like, I'm not trying to cover her backstory because that's not the point, but Gypsy and Dee Dee have a lot of the same mannerisms, which you'll see later. Dee Dee was like always a control freak. Like, even with her own mother, she had to be in control.
Yeah, I guess it runs in the family, huh?
The manipulative, the lies, yes, it runs in the family.
Definitely. So yeah, once again, I think he dodged a bullet. Shortly after that, about 3 months after Gypsy is born in 1991, Gypsy undergoes a sleep apnea examination. Dee Dee insists that there is something wrong with Gypsy, but the doctors find absolutely no issues with Gypsy's health, which is probably something that she did not want to hear, considering all the stuff that happens later. Nevertheless, Dee Dee becomes increasingly convinced of Gypsy's ailments, going as far as to tell her husband, Rod, that she believes her daughter is suffering from a chromosomal defect and attributing her health problems to it. So 3 months in, and this lady is already, trying to tell people that, oh, my daughter is sick. Like, what is the deal?
And clearly, at 3 months in, Gypsy can't control anything. She's a baby.
Yeah. Right? But, so, I mean, we got that going on. And over time, right, it just gets stronger with Dee Dee. Her claims just get stronger. Her claims just become more far-fetched, even to the point to where she's starting to tell people that Gypsy has leukemia, muscular dystrophy, just everything that she can possibly think of, she's throwing at the wall, while taking Gypsy to go and see all these doctors. The doctors continuously are trying to tell her that there is nothing wrong with Gypsy, but this does absolutely nothing to dissuade Gypsy from telling everyone
You mean
who
Dee
listened.
Dee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dissuade Dee Dee. Thank you.
You're
right.
welcome.
That there's nothing wrong with Gypsy. It does nothing to dissuade her, like I was saying. Then in 2005, Dee Dee's luck runs out, or she gets extremely lucky, depending on how you look at it, because that is when Hurricane Katrina hits their hometown of Citadel, Louisiana. The Blanchard residence is left in utter ruins. They have nowhere else to turn, and they end up going and living in a homeless shelter for a while, a rescue shelter. When asked about Gypsy, Dee Dee claims that the medical records were destroyed in the hurricane.
Now, here's my thought on that. You're supposed to evacuate, correct? Or you're supposed to get out, or you're supposed to start getting your shit together, correct?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you take your supposedly ill daughter's medical records? Why wouldn't that be the first thing you grab?
That's a good point.
They didn't have any pets.
Yeah.
They didn't really have, I'm assuming they didn't have any valuables of much. So why wouldn't you grab your ill daughter's medical records?
Yeah.
Knowing that she's ill in several different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point. You would think if she really was that sick, that would be one of the things that she would want to bring with her, so that she can make sure to get her daughter the proper medical attention that she really needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very strange. But I mean, it gives her the perfect setup to just set up all of her future cons that she would be doing over the next few years.
Yes.
In 2007, she takes Gypsy to another doctor, Dr. Bernardo Flasserstein. I might be butchering that. If I am, I apologize. He raises concerns after an examination, again for muscular dystrophy and cerebral palsy this time. There's nothing wrong, right, with Gypsy. He's raising concerns about that. He confronts Dee Dee about that because he can see that there is literally nothing wrong with this girl, and affirming that to Dee Dee over and over. And all Dee Dee is doing is sitting there getting upset, telling him, the doctor, right, that the doctor is wrong.
She knows better.
Oh, yeah, that she doesn't care about his professional opinion, and that, obviously she seems to be smarter than a doctor, is what she seems to think.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets pissed and she leaves. She storms out of the doctor's office, and it makes a huge scene, which is weird to me because I'm like, man, if you're lying about this kind of stuff, why are you going around making a huge scene about it?
Right.
Like, why are you drawing attention to yourself? You would think that you would just want to be like, okay, doctor, yeah, okay, we'll come back next week or something like that, right?
Right.
It'd be nice just to get out of that office.
Don't get loud and draw a scene.
Yeah. Probably not the smartest move on Dee Dee's part. Directly after this is why I'm saying it was not the smartest move. After seeing this, the doctor, he's even more inclined to believe that Gypsy is suffering from Munchausen by proxy. So he actually goes out and he finds Gypsy's primary care physician, right? And sends, I don't know if it's a him or a her, but whoever it was, the primary care physician, if it was a boy or girl, I'm not sure, but finds that doctor and actually sends that doctor a letter saying, hey, you might want to look into this because I'm pretty sure that Dee Dee is lying about, Gypsy's health concerns. He says, however, at this time, like, he felt there was no evidence that he could give as significant proof to warrant a CPS case.
Mind you, all of the medical procedures she put this girl through. I'm not denying that Gypsy went through hell. She had a feeding tube she didn't need. She had all of her teeth removed, pretty much. I mean, I know that's going ahead a little bit, but still, like...
No, it's not. Actually, I mean,
the feeding
that's crazy.
tube. The doctor alone said the feeding tube was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you put your child through that?
Yeah, that's, you're straight up putting a hole in your kid's stomach when you do that, so...
And, like, I'm not sure if it was just in the TV show. The TV show The Act with Patricia Arquette, which did amazing as Dee Dee. I'm not gonna lie. Love Patricia Arquette. So if you ever hear this, Patricia Arquette, I love you. Yeah, she did amazing as Dee Dee. Anyways, had all of her teeth pulled out.
Yeah, that's absurd.
The problem is the way Gypsy's teeth were rotting, that is because of sugar intake. The doctor even said that. It was because of sugar intake and not proper hygiene. And eating acidic foods. How is this possible when she got everything through a feeding tube?
Well, yeah, I mean, because Gypsy's sneaking it, or at least that's what Gypsy wants us to think, is that she was sneaking it, right?
I feel bad for her to a certain degree. Because when she was a child, up until, like, she could speak for herself, I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Because a baby can't do anything about it. A child can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But there hits a certain age when you can clearly see what's going on.
Yep. Most definitely.
Okay, I'll let you get back to the timeline.
Oh, no. All right, so let me... Okay, so that was in 2007, okay? Do you think it's a coincidence now? Because they end up moving in 2008. Dee Dee and Gypsy moved to Springfield, Missouri. After Dee Dee is somehow able to lie well enough to convince Habitat for Humanity to build him a house.
A nice house, mind you.
Yeah.
That, I'm skipping ahead a little bit.
You're not,
that
go
they
ahead.
Destroyed. Both of them destroyed with their hoarding.
Yes, I mean, definitely. I just think it's a little sus that she was able to swing that in 2008, right after that doctor was like, hey, I know that you're lying, so I'm not going to sit here and stand for this. People need to know, and Gypsy needs to be okay. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, she's like, okay, well, I'm moving out of the state.
Moved out of the state.
Yeah.
And, mind you, this is at the same point when they changed the pronunciation of their last name from Blanchard to Blanchard.
Blanchard, not so is
their
it supposed
last
to
name
be
was technically Blanchard.
like we're cooking a burger on a charcoal grill chard?
Yes.
I know, I'm playing.
But she changed the pronunciation because she thought it would be harder for them to find them.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I can see why they do that. I think that's kind of dumb because her name is still Blanchard, but not on your part, on her part. But I mean, she doesn't seem like the smartest person to me, anyways. But around this time is actually when they actually become viral, right? Because this is around the time that they start ending up being on like local news stations, things like that. Especially because of the Habitat for Humanity house, like there was cameras there. You can watch all of this on YouTube if you just search for it, right?
And God help you if you ever had to hear either of them sing.
I would not want to listen to them sing. Even in the show, The Act, I didn't like the singing parts.
Man.
But I mean, you know me, I'm not really into the whole musical aspects of all of that. But I mean, they start accepting all kinds of gifts, including
trips, and money,
cash donations, right? Concerts, trips to Disney World. They even had a few celebrity meet and greets.
Yeah, because They told people that Gypsy was terminally ill at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know how long she was going to live. But this is where it gets to the point where it starts grinding my freaking gears. Because this is the point where Gypsy's old enough to see what's going on. The part that gets me in the TV show, and I know it was a TV show, it's the part where the little neighbor girl is like, "Did you always know you could walk?" And Gypsy was like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah. Yeah, she's like 17 at this time.
At this time, she's like 17 years old. They show her in the show walking around, clearly knowing she can walk.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
That's what gets me.
Yep, that is true. I mean, we don't know how much of that's like dramatized or not, but apparently, you know, she did know that she could walk, obviously.
In the interviews, in her prison interviews, she even said, "I knew I could walk.
Yeah.
I just never knew why I wasn't allowed to."
Yeah. Yeah. Coincidence though, because literally less than a year later in the early, like around January or February in 2009, another doctor would also examine Gypsy and reach out to the authorities, stating that he found no symptoms supporting Dee Dee's claims that her daughter is unwell in any way.
And that's when Child Protective Services got involved.
Yes, they did, but nothing ever came of that report. And even that doctor himself was hesitant about actually telling CPS2 because he also did not think that he had enough evidence to prove any of this. You know, but I mean, he's a doctor. I mean, but this guy went as far as to say that he believed that all of the medical conditions her mom was claiming she had, if they were true, then the doctors had to have misdiagnosed her.
My thing is like, the reason I used to say that I thought Gypsy deserved to get out is because all of these people, and I'm not gonna lie, dropped the ball.
Yeah.
All of the doctors, all of the authorities, Child Protective Services dropped the ball.
Yeah.
They could have helped that girl.
True.
Prior to anything ever going down.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Yeah, so they actually get away scot-free for 2 more years after that.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. They're continuing their charade. You know, they're accepting all these cash donations and everything. They're making a lot of money on this.
People are writing them letters, sending them money.
Yep. And then I think you know what happens next. And this is a little different in the TV show than the way it happened in real life. But in 2011, Gypsy actually did attend. It was like a comic book convention, right? Mm-hmm. You know, that's where the famous picture comes of her dressed as Cinderella, I believe it was.
Yeah, she was dressed as, she wanted to dress as Belle, but she dressed as Cinderella.
Right.
And she meets Wolverine.
Yeah. She meets I forget his name right now. I'm very sorry. Very unprofessional, but I don't remember his name, but she meets him.
I think it was Dan.
I think it was Dan too, but I'm not 100% correct, so I don't want to say that is what it is if I'm not correct, you know. But anyways, we'll just go with Dan for now. She sneaks out at night to get away from her mom and to go stay with this guy. She's literally trying to actively escape at this point.
Mind you, this guy is a pedophile.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I guess I'm not trying to defend him, okay? But to be fair, I mean, she was telling him a different age. You know what I mean? And technically at this point, it's too... Yeah, and I was about to say that. And at this point, she's 20 years old.
But look at her.
Agreed. Yeah, she looks freaky, you know?
She doesn't even look human.
Yeah, some of the pictures of her, especially that one in the bathtub that you showed me the other day.
That's a sink.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
That's a sink.
Yeah, that's even worse then, you know?
She looked like a creature.
She literally looked exactly like the creature on the Russian sleep experiment meme picture that I'm sure a lot of people have seen, and I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, just total creep. Somehow her mom, though, actually realizes that she escaped and actually tracks her down and brings her home. Which, like, how did number one, how did Dee Dee even know?
Because she left her a note. It was like in the show. She left her a note.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so she left her a note is what you're saying.
Yeah, and some of the people around them that did befriend them did actually know who this man was.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of the convention.
So, all right. So that's how she was able to track her down.
Yes.
All right, man. But I mean, honestly, Gypsy probably should have just walked away at that point. Right? I mean, are we
Yes.
in agreement of that? Because I don't think she should have been staying there with her mom any longer. She's
Because
an
at this
adult.
point, clearly she knew she could walk because she walked away.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm just saying.
she could have went to the police.
Right there.
Yeah, she didn't have to stay at this guy's house, you know. She could have went to the police. She could have told them what her mom was doing.
That's what leads me to believe she liked all the money that was coming in. She liked all the gifts that were coming in. She liked those trips. She liked those concerts.
Yeah. I mean,
But you can't have both sides.
I mean, that very well could be true. Honestly, and maybe I'm crazy, but I don't even know if I really believe this story. You know, I mean, how do we know that this actually happened? Because to me, it kind of sounds like maybe she was making this up to make it seem like she had been trying to get away for a lot longer than
That's
she
what I
actually
think.
was. You know?
I think that too.
I mean, I'm just saying, because the only person, right, the only other person that's going to corroborate this story is dead.
Yeah.
You know?
Or the only other person that corroborates this story is the man.
Yeah.
Which they can't find.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, they couldn't find him.
Yep.
Or he just didn't want to say anything.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
he might have thought that he would go to jail for being a air quotes pedophile.
or he just didn't want anything to do with it.
Oh crap! YouTube gonna demonetize me now for saying
Why?
that. Well, I'm not even monetized, but I can't be saying the pedophile word because now
Just say pedo bear.
pedo bear. There you go, a pedo bear. That works. Okay.
Because he's a meme too, so...
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah, pedo bear, he's a meme.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Is pedo bear. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, you know, she's 20 years old. She could have got away, you know, and then after that, it's kind of convenient, in my opinion, that after that, she's quoted in an ABC News article saying that when she got home, she said she physically chained me to the bed and put bells, put bells on the doors, told anybody that would listen that I wasn't to be trusted and that I was going through a phase.
But this is, at the same time, this is the point where Gypsy also had her own Facebook, hidden Facebook,
Yeah.
her own laptop, her own cell phone,
Yeah.
hidden from her mom. Because here in the mix of all of this is when stuff really starts going down. Because she not only talked to that dude, she was talking to multiple guys.
Yeah. And then what?
It's just because, like, I'm going ahead a little, but before Nicholas Godejohn even came into the picture, after this pedo bear guy was in the picture, she was talking to, like, trying to talk to guys about killing her mom.
Yeah.
And none of them would do it. They would either block her or ignore her or laugh at her. She said this has been proven. That's what I don't understand. She was trying to convince other men to kill her mom. Before Nick
Nick?
Yes.
Wow.
She tried and nobody took it.
Wow.
Nobody wanted to do it.
Wow, man. Well, since we're bringing him up, because like directly after this, a few months later, we are now in October of 2012. Gypsy, unbeknownst to her mother, she establishes her online dating profile that you were just talking about. Mind you, it's a Christian dating profile, which is a little ironic considering that she was able to find a murderer on a Christian dating website.
Yes.
But yeah.
We're looking for a murderer.
Yeah.
On a Christian dating
Actually,
website.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, looking for a murderer. Not even just, yeah, you're 100% correct on that. But this is when she starts to communicate with Nicholas Godejohn. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, too.
It is right.
Okay.
And the thing I'm not defending Nicholas Godejohn. By any means, what he did is wrong. I'm not defending him. But my problem with Nicholas Godejohn, he was simple. And by simple, if you listen to his mother talk about him, if you listen to his stepfather talk about him, his stepsister, he had the mind of a teen child.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, he wasn't all there. I mean,
No.
they showed you in the. I think they'd actually. I wish I knew the actor's name. I hate to bring the show up again, but I just felt like he did a really good job, really like showing people.
He did a really good job.
Yeah, like the part where he's picking up the rocks.
And he's smiling.
Yeah, yeah.
And like he collects the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
That shows you.
Like obviously that might have just been a dramatization, but the point is they're trying to show you like the kind of mentality and the kind of mental awareness this guy has. You know,
Well,
which
like,
is more
I don't want to bring
child.
up the show either, but like there's another scene, because I think the actor did amazing as him too. There's another scene where they're standing in the kitchen and the actress is like, "Doesn't your mom feed you? What, does she let you starve?" And he's like, "Well, I get free pizza from my job, but tonight is just unfortunate." Like, he wasn't made of money, and I think Gypsy saw that.
Oh, definitely.
Once she got to that point, it was too late.
Mm-hmm. Yep, most
Well, let's
definitely.
rewind a little bit because we
Well, I mean, actually, we're pretty much exactly where we
missed,
need to
like,
be.
well, we didn't go over the murder, but
Well, no, we're not at the murder yet. We're still in 2012 where
Yeah.
she first meets him on the Christian dating website.
yeah.
Yeah. So obviously they start to have an affair. They start to talk to each other. They sustain a romantic connection through years of video chats and online messaging, which I want to bring up real quick. I never realized until I looked into this case that they knew each other for so long.
Well,
Right?
yeah, like they talked for like years.
Yeah, it's like 3 years, 2 or 3 years before like he meets her at the
in
cinema.
person at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they talk, and yes, it gets graphic. Their talks get graphic, but the
Which
way-
I'm not reading those, so don't
No,
ask.
no. I don't expect you to. But the thing is Nicholas was sitting there talking about how he had other personas living in his head,
Mm-hmm.
and Gypsy played with that.
Yeah.
Like, you now all of a sudden, she will hear her in interviews saying how uncomfortable she was talking to him about the other personalities in his head. Then why did she make up other personalities? Who was Candy? Who was Ruby?
The
She made
slut
up-
personality.
She made up all these other personalities to go with his personalities.
Yeah.
And if she was so uncomfortable and didn't want to do it, why did she do it? Was she scared of him? How could she be scared of him?
I don't think she was scared of that guy at all.
No.
Not even a little bit. If anything, I think she was probably manipulating him, and she learned from the best when it comes to manipulation.
Because
You
the
know.
thing is with that, I always say about that, her mother was manipulated by her mother. Gypsy was manipulated by her mother. Guess who else is a manipulator? Gypsy.
Oh yeah, it's a vicious cycle. It just goes on and on. So they talk for about 2 years. There's all kinds of like conversations out there you can find, and they range from PG rated fairy tale like declarations of love to X-rated messages. Obviously I say we're not going to go over all of that.
No.
But they are out there, listener. If there's people listening and you're interested, you can find that stuff. I don't know if I'd really recommend it, but
Hell,
you know, whatever
the-
floats your boat.
The murder pictures of Dee Dee are even leaked now. If you want to
Yeah.
look, I've seen them. My God, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I've seen them, and I'll tell you what. It's vicious.
Mm-hmm.
The way they killed that woman is vicious.
Yeah.
And I say they because I think Gypsy had just as much to do with it as he did.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna skip forward about 2 years. Now it's October of 2014. Gypsy now develops a friendship with her neighbor. I cannot pronounce this. Please, babe, if you like can tell me how to say this name, I'd very much appreciate it. Because I don't know if it's Alea Woodmansey or Alea Woodmason, something like that. But that's her friend's name. I
Yeah.
apologize.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't either, so I apologize if I completely butchered that. But they start engaging in just online conversations through like a discreet Facebook account.
Mhm.
Gypsy, her involvement with Godejohn intensifies around this time.
Mm-hmm.
She starts confiding in her friend on Facebook, but I was actually kind of surprised to find out that she didn't really make friends with that girl until around 2014. Like, I thought that they already knew each other, you know, like when they moved in there. Obviously, they were acquaintances, but they weren't really like friends. And now I could be wrong, but according to what I was reading when I was doing the research for this, it shows that she actually really wasn't really even friends with her until 2014. So that's something that's a little bit askew there. So I'm not 100% on that, but still interesting to me nonetheless. All she's really talking to her about is just like typical, you know, girl talk, you know, advice, things like that, you know, talking about how she hates her mom and, you know, how her neighbor hates her mom too, blah, blah, blah. Typical teenage girl stuff. Keep in mind at this point, Gypsy's like 24, I think, or like 23, 24.
Yeah.
Still talking and acting like a teenage girl. Dee Dee finds out about this and disapproves of their relationship, reads all the exchanges between them, and this is actually that scene that you saw, you know, like in the show where she takes her laptop and just smashes it, right? That actually happens, right? Like, destroyed her phone, destroyed her laptop. Like, her mom was just completely irate, which really goes to show you, like, how she's really trying to
keep that control.
Yeah, like she's trying to have a firm grasp over what Gypsy can do and what Gypsy can say, you know. It's pretty bad. I kind of understand why she's so effing nuts in that regard. You know, what do you think?
Well, that's also around the time that her mom was like, you know, if we get caught, you're gonna go down too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know exact word exchange that they had, but it was something along the lines of, you know, just as much as I do, how much we've done.
Yeah.
And at this time, Dee Dee was also trying to get full guardianship over Gypsy so she could make all the moves.
Yeah.
And it was to the point where she was using fear over Gypsy. She told Gypsy that if they went down, Gypsy was going to go down just as hard as she did. Because Gypsy was of age.
Yeah. One thing that baffles me about this case, what I don't understand is, like, obviously she had Gypsy under her thumb, right?
Yes.
And obviously to some extent they were friendly, right? Dee Dee should have just let her have a boyfriend, you know, or let her have a friend, I feel.
I think, though, in that regard, that Dee Dee thought she would lose some of that control.
And that's understandable, but I mean, she's already made a lot of money off Gypsy. I feel like Dee Dee got greedy, is what happened.
I feel like that too, but I also feel like when she made that play to Gypsy, you'll go down for this too. That's when it clicked in Gypsy's mind. I gotta get rid of her.
Yeah.
That was the definite kick.
Well, she probably thought that her mom would never let her go alive. Yeah. You know, like you know.
Yeah.
It's
but
true.
I also think that's when it kicked to her. I gotta get rid of her.
Yeah. So, where are we at now? So about a year later, not even a year, because it's actually March of 2015, Gypsy and Go to John finally meet in person. They devise a plan to meet in person for the first time in a movie theater in Springfield, Missouri, with hopes that Dee Dee will let Go to John date her, basically.
And be accepting.
Yeah. And
I don't know why in her mind, her right mind, she thought her mom would ever accept that.
I don't get that either, for the sole reason that she did it in the worst way possible.
Yeah, a guy showing up alone to a children's movie.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And I'm sorry, I'm not like a beauty queen, but I'm gonna tell you, Nicholas Godejohn was weird looking.
Yes.
In real life, he was weird. The actor that played him in the show was weird.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, what grown-ass man goes to a Disney movie without a kid or without a girlfriend?
A significant other. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't. I mean,
That was
you know me.
sus.
I hate Disney, right? Like,
Yeah, unless I was with you.
yeah. If
You
I
wouldn't
was,
go.
if me and you were in that movie theater that day, and we saw the guy sitting behind Gypsy and Dee Dee, I think even we would be like, "What is up with this weirdo?"
I probably would have intervened.
right?
I would have been like, leave them alone.
Yeah.
She's sick and that's her daughter.
Yeah. You know, this is the dumbest plan ever. I can't believe she ever thought that this would actually
And
work.
this was Gypsy's idea.
Yeah, 100%. So this is going on, and then, you know, obviously, I'm sure you guys already know because you're probably watching this because you like this case. They turn around and go and have sex inside of the male's restroom.
Yes.
Like it's nothing, I guess. You know, I've always felt that she did that to get more control of him.
But do you know now? She says that he raped her there too.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
She said he took advantage of her there too. No, he didn't. She had sex with him there to seal the deal.
She's saying that she was raped by him that day?
Yeah, she's saying he raped her twice.
But didn't she say, like, in court that it was the other way around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
But
she
now
did.
that she's out, she's saying he raped her that day too.
Man, that's ridiculous. Like,
See, like she's changing her whole story.
her shame has no bounds. Like, this is ridiculous, right? So, nevertheless, though, as we were just talking about, Dee Dee obviously does not approve of this relationship.
She never would have.
No, there was never a chance in hell. I don't think any sane parent on the planet would have been cool with that.
Would you?
No, hell no. No. That's exactly what I'm saying.
As her mother, I would have tried to get her as far away from him as possible.
Now, here's my question. Let's just do a thought experiment for a second, okay?
Okay.
So, if we're a gypsy and we want to introduce this guy to our mom, how do you think she should have went about doing it?
I don't know, because it's like she said, and it's not like I condone what she says or I agree with her, but she's like, I don't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to have a computer.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to have a phone. So how would she have met him?
Yeah. Yep.
She couldn't have.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I was thinking about that yesterday, actually, just when I was like reading up on this, and I was like, well, maybe if they met at like a library, you know, or something like that, maybe she could have told her mom, hey, you know, let's go to the library. I want to read these books, and then you can have like Gypsy accidentally drop a book or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he just happened to be there and pick it up and go, oh, hey, you know, here you go. You know, I hope you're all right. You know, and like, but then again, it is Nicholas Godejohn. He probably would have screwed up just about any plan.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, there had to have been another way for them to do this that wouldn't have been so weird. But I do really think that Dee Dee probably should have just let her have a little bit more control of her life.
Yeah.
And a lot of this probably would have been avoided.
But the reason that she didn't, see, it's so back and forth, because like at one point Gypsy didn't know how old she was. But
yeah.
then it was like she did know how old she was.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we'll ever get the entirety of the story.
Well, we can't now.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, we can't. Well, unless Nicholas Godejohn just decides to, you know what, I'm going to tell everybody the exact truth of what happened.
He has told the truth.
Well, you know, but again, you know, that's just one person's side of the story.
Yeah.
We don't know that he's actually telling the truth or not. And not to mention, he's not really a, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not really credible.
Well, the thing about him, and I'm going to give him this credit, he didn't rape her.
I don't think he ever raped Gypsy.
I don't think he raped her for the simple fact, look at her other personas.
Yeah.
She was skanky.
What was it? Rainbow was like her slut
Ruby.
persona? That was Ruby?
That was Ruby.
Oh, okay. I thought Ruby was the vampire.
Ruby was the vampire and she was slutty.
Yeah.
Ruby went with Victor, remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right, because Victor was the original vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all of that happens, and now we're in June, believe it or not. Did you realize this happened in June?
Oh, man.
That her mom was killed? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, so...
Everything bad happens in the month of my birthday.
Yeah, we have this ongoing joke between the two of us, guys, where everything bad seems to always happen in June for her.
Michael Jackson died on my birthday.
Yeah. There's like a lot of serial killer murders that have been done in June.
Yep.
Usually it's like the 24th or the 26th. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. I'm starting to think you're cursed, to be 100% with you, but
What can I say?
that's another story.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. So we are at the part where Dee Dee's found murder. Go to John. He goes back to Missouri, checks into a nearby motel.
That Gypsy paid for, mind you.
Yes.
Gypsy set this whole thing up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Waits for Gypsy to tell him that Dee Dee is asleep. Upon receiving the go signal from Gypsy,
he walks in. She lets him in the front door. She hands him the knife and the gloves.
I was literally about it. That was the exact next part of the script I was just about to read you. So, yes, that's exactly what happens. Go to John carries out the act of killing Dee Dee. Gypsy hides in the bathroom.
Can I stop you right there, though?
Okay.
It's speculated that he snaped her body. I'm saying snaped because of YouTube.
Right.
And God forgive me for saying Snape. Love you, Alan Rickman. Anyways, it's speculated that he snaped her either before he killed her or after.
Right.
But because I've seen the murder scene and the pictures of Dee Dee, I speculate that he might have, because there is a bloody V on her left ass cheek. And I will leave it at that. I won't go into any more details about her body or anything like that.
I think he did that. I think the only real question in my mind is did Gypsy know about it or not?
Well, now it's come out that there's a possibility that Dee Dee was actually held down by Gypsy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Because
That's where I'm going with this.
I
Yeah.
read that the way Dee Dee was positioned on the bed, she was laying on her stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a rather large woman.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And she was naked underneath her nightgown.
Yeah.
Well, the bruising on her sides, because there was enough time for that body to swell and bloat and bruise, the bruising on her sides looked like somebody was straddling and sitting on her back.
Oh, definitely.
And I'll tell you right now, Nicholas Godejohn would have had more weight on him than Gypsy. Gypsy was tiny.
I mean, yeah, but you know what? Nicholas isn't that big either.
I know. But what I'm saying is if he did rape her, there is proof. Because there's knee prints on her sides.
Yeah.
Like bruising, like there was knees on her sides. Now, the only other thing I can think of is they found some kind of substance from him on her. And that was proven too. It was either saliva or semen, but that was never released. Which one it was.
Yeah.
Because in the interview with him, when they were asking him about the murder, he was open. He's like, yeah, I did it. And they were like, did you lick her? Did you ejaculate on her? And he hesitated.
Yeah.
Several times in both of those questions. And he was like, what do you mean? And they were like, did you have sex with Dee Dee? And he stumbled over his words, which he stumbles over his words anyways.
Yeah.
And he said, that wasn't a part of the plan. And then he smiled.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But Gypsy also brought up he wanted to rape her mother.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my point. I find it very hard to believe all that on.
Because
How gruesome. Not to mention the fact that I think
he was. But the thing is Gypsy maintains saying that she told him he could rape her instead of raping her mom. I don't think he ever raped Gypsy. I think all the sex with them was consensual.
you think it was all consensual.
Between him and Gypsy, yes.
Yeah. I definitely think it was consensual between him and Gypsy. I think my only issue is, again, I really think that there's no way he could have done that whole murder on his own.
No. He wasn't smart enough. I'm sorry. But
Oh.
the thing is do I think if he had sex with her body, I don't think he did it when she was alive.
I don't think he did it when she was alive. I don't even necessarily think that he did it when she was like in the room, when Gypsy was in the room.
Yeah.
But I also don't for a minute believe that Gypsy didn't either A, know that was going to happen, or B, that it happened.
Yeah.
You know, I don't believe that whatsoever.
And let me tell you, I'm not saying they, I'm saying the way this woman was murdered was gruesome.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's my point.
Like, the back of her head was flapping.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because stabbing is a crime of passion.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, what if Nick didn't do it?
Well, Dee Dee, I was just about to go there, but Dee Dee was stabbed 17 times.
Yeah.
You know?
In the face, in the head.
I don't think this guy has enough rage in him to want to stab her 17 times. You know, I honestly think Gypsy was there, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I think Gypsy did some of it.
Yeah.
And that's what people are starting to say. They think that she started it before he even got there.
Agreed. So, now we're going to move up a little bit. June 14th, because obviously after this, Gypsy goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbors think that she might have been abducted by whoever it was that killed Dee Dee, because obviously the police don't know who's done it yet.
And they don't even know Dee Dee's dead yet, because they have to kick in the door.
Yeah. So at first they're thinking that maybe Gypsy has been kidnapped, and they're worried about her. Well, during this time, Gypsy is an idiot, okay? She uses her Facebook account under the name Gypsy Blanchard.
Which is still up, mind you.
Yeah.
You can still find this Facebook with all the messages.
Yep. Gypsy posts the following. That expletive deleted is dead. How dumb are you? Right? This post quickly raises all the alarm
Well, that's
bells.
not all it said.
Well, yeah, we're getting there.
Okay.
Yeah. Nick only admitted to 4 times. Yeah, see, that's another inconsistency right there. Sorry, that's what someone in the chat just said. But it was 17 times.
It was 17.
Yeah.
Nick did 4. So who did the other ones?
Yeah, there you go. Right? Again.
Nick did 4.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures of this woman dead.
Yeah.
Her head was slit open to the point where there was a flap. Tell me. You cannot convince me he did it alone. You cannot convince me he did it alone. He wasn't brainy.
Agreed.
He wasn't smart enough.
Yeah. I completely agree. And I don't buy that. I never bought that, to be honest with you. But yeah, so she goes online and she puts that quote up there on Facebook, which is just instantly prompts the authorities to try to figure out where they are.
And mind you, Nick was like, "Did you hide the location?" Nick was intelligent enough to say that. He was intelligent enough to know that.
Yeah.
Did you hide the location? Well, what do you mean? They
Yeah.
can trace your Facebook post.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Look
God.
at that. Think about this, okay? That was a moment where Nick was smarter
Than Gypsy.
than Gypsy. Yeah. Are you serious? Yeah. That's bad. So June 15th, 2015, they are quickly apprehended.
Well, rewind a little bit. She mailed the murder weapon to Nicholas Godejohn's house.
Yeah. And they have them. Don't they have them on camera? They actually do that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
They have him on
bad.
camera in the bus station and everything else.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's just laughable to me that all law enforcement had to do was trace this Facebook post. And I mean,
They
she
led her right to Nick's house.
Yeah, you know, she thought she was so smart doing this whole plan. That's one thing that when it comes to criminals and these cases in general, these people are so dumb to think that they can get away with something like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand what the hell these people are thinking. And in Nick's interrogation, he says he wants to apologize to everyone but Dan. Oh man, that's very interesting. That's a very Very good point.
The sad thing about Nick to me is up until recently, he has always proclaimed his love for her. He said he'd do it again.
Yeah. That blows my mind. That one blows my mind because to this day, today, he says that.
Well, not now he doesn't.
I could have sworn to God he did. Didn't we just see an interview with that guy?
He didn't. He doesn't say it now because he found out about Ryan Anderson and Ken.
Oh, so he got butthurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows that she didn't love him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, obviously they get caught. We all know that. And Gypsy pleads guilty to murder on July 5th of 2016. Following that plea agreement, it's, the Greene County prosecutor, Dan Patterson, Gypsy enters a guilty plea for a second-degree murder. As reported by Springfield News, she receives a 10-year prison sentence.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
The thing that I want to rewind a little bit about Gypsy is, at first she's like, she's dead? She's dead?
Oh, you mean in the interview? The interrogation.
Come on, Dipsy.
Dipsy, wow.
Come on, Dipsy.
Wow.
You knew your mom was dead.
Yeah.
You set him up to do it. God. Oh my God.
And she's a terrible actor too.
Oh my God. She shows no emotion unless it suits her.
Yeah. So, moral of the story with her, the only thing I'm really trying to get across to anybody listening to this is she got the 10-year prison sentence because she agreed to a plea deal. She actually didn't go to court and she avoided a trial by agreeing to, but part of that plea deal was that she had to testify against Nick.
Threw Nick under the bus.
Yeah, exactly. In 2018, Gypsy expresses a sense of liberation in prison compared to living with her mother. You remember this?
I remember.
Like how she was actually happy?
Because this is the point where I started I'm not going to lie to everybody, I was on the Gypsy bandwagon. I was like, this girl should be free. She did nothing wrong. She was abused her entire life. And now I sing a completely different song because the girl is her mother all over again.
Oh, 100%.
And you'll never convince me otherwise. I don't care if you're a gypsy person. I do not like this bitch at all.
Yeah, no. And especially like during the trial, like she just, like you said, completely throws Nick under the bus. She explains that in the weeks leading up to the murder, Gypsy testified that she harbored doubt, but the situation at home was getting worse. Gypsy states in court that things were getting more and more physically. I'm gonna stop it right there because, like, are we really sure that she was actually getting, like, physically?
My thing about Gypsy is I feel for her when she was a baby and a child.
True.
But when you discover that your two own fucking legs work, get up and walk your fucking ass out of that house.
Yeah. I think she just should have not came back.
You're smart enough to chat on the internet and go behind your mama's back? Walk the fuck away. Yeah. I don't care how scared.
Yeah.
Oh, what about the false allegations about her grandfather raping her?
Yeah.
That she took back.
Hmm? Oh man, I can't believe that. I forgot to actually mention that, but yeah, she was sitting there trying to claim that her grandfather was trying to rape her as a kid or something, or what's that word? Berate her? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grape
her. Thank you.
Yeah.
I need to get used to that one. I don't know though, because I remember we watched a documentary where he was part of it.
Mommy Dead, Mommy Dearest.
Is that what that was?
Yep.
He looked kind of guilty to me.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Because if you listen to her step-grandma talk, she says it flat out. Gypsy was just like her mama.
Yeah.
Lied about everything.
No, but when they asked him about it, like, he never really just straight out looks at the person and says no.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's what made me a little unsettled about that interview with him.
I don't know.
You know, is
I just don't believe anything that she says, and that's sad.
I get that, but I keep thinking in terms of, like, if that's me, dude, if someone accused me of raping my niece or my granddaughter, I wouldn't be sitting there being like, oh no, I didn't rape her.
Well, I'm gonna skip ahead a little.
Okay.
What she's doing, what she did to her ex-husband, well, her future ex-husband Ryan Anderson. Oh my God, she married that man just to get out of prison.
I got notes for that too.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, back to the grandpa thing. I mean, I would be pissed off, right?
Yeah.
I'd be sitting there like, hell no, I didn't touch my granddaughter. What the hell are you talking about, right? But he wasn't like that at all. So anyways, I don't know, and there's no evidence to point.
They never convicted him.
And if I'm gonna have
took
to,
it back.
yeah, and if I'm gonna have to pick between who do I trust more, Gypsy or her grandpa, I'm gonna pick her grandpa every single day of the week.
Yep.
You know, so I just thought it was kind of strange. You know what it reminded me of is, oh, we should talk about this one too. Casey Anthony.
Oh no.
You know, like the way he was talking reminded me a lot of Casey Anthony, and I think that's why it kind of disturbed.
But you know, like part of me still feels bad for Gypsy, 'cause she did go through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But is she just as guilty
Well,
as Nick?
That's if all of this went down the way that Gypsy said it went down. I mean, you're
We'll
actually
never
the
know.
one. You're actually the one who opened my eyes to the possibility of maybe she was in on it.
Yeah. I mean, after a certain age, of course, a baby's not going to be in on it,
Right.
and a child's not going to be in on it.
Right.
But once you get to a certain age and you can see shit, I mean, I don't know.
Well, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately, especially while I was like looking into this case. You know, over the last couple days, trying to get this together. I have to wonder if she was in on it. You know, like if she did like all the attention, if she did want all the money too, and we only think of Dee Dee as being this evil person because of the things that Gypsy says.
Yeah.
Now, it could have easily started where she was being abused, and it was as
Well,
bad.
even Dee Dee's family said that Dee Dee was abusing her.
Yeah, everyone says that, but I mean, it might not have been as bad as Gypsy made it out to be, right?
Dee Dee could have. I'm not sympathizing. I'm just saying not saying what Dee Dee did was right. But maybe Dee Dee was just an overprotective mom.
Oh, she was overprotective for sure. But yeah, you know, I mean, like to
But
what extent?
was she overprotective to the point where did she deserve to be murdered?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that justifies her murder whatsoever.
Was she? I'm gonna throw this in there, and I know you probably don't want me to yet. Was she being sexually abused by her mom, like the Menendez brothers were being sexually abused by their mother and their father?
Yeah. Yep. That's a whole nother thing that we can talk about. But part of the reason that you and I even wanted to make this is because I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like it's kind of bullshit that the Menendez brothers are still in jail.
Okay.
Right.
Let's get me started.
Okay. Go ahead.
Lyle and Eric, no, they're not innocent, and I am so fucking sick and fucking tired of people being, oh, they were spoiled little rich boys. Why do you think they were spoiled? Because their dad wanted their silence for fucking them.
Yeah.
And the mom knew.
Well, wait. Time out. Just let me get this part out, okay? So I'm only saying that I think it's bullshit they're in jail, not necessarily because of the murder thing. I think they murdered their family.
They did.
You know, I'm 100% on board with they murdered their parents. I understand that, right? But in my opinion, Gypsy had just as much to do with the death of her mother
You brought up a
as
good
Nick
point.
did. All right, go ahead.
You brought up a good point. If Gypsy's not in prison, why did Charles Manson sit in prison?
Exactly, thank you. Yes, Charles Manson sat in prison. He never killed anybody.
He manipulated people into killing people.
Just like Gypsy.
Manipulated Nicholas Godejohn into killing someone.
Exactly.
But Charles Manson had to rot in prison.
Yeah.
As to where Gypsy got out in less time than she got sentenced.
Yeah, so I mean, if Gypsy can get out in 10 years, then why the hell are the Menendez brothers, who honestly I think probably really were
when they were 19
abused.
and 21.
Yeah, and they're still in jail.
In their 50s.
To this day, they're in jail. Like, I honestly think that's an egregious mishandling of justice.
Your broadcast just ended on Twitch.
On Twitch?
Yeah, it said the broadcast has ended.
Oh man, that's weird. I wonder why.
Did it end?
I don't see it ended on my end.
Maybe it closed. I'll come back.
Maybe try to
Sorry for
reload
that
it.
interruption.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm still alive on YouTube at least. I'm looking at YouTube right now and I'm live. You know?
Okay.
But I mean, for real though, alright, you know, sorry to get ahead. Oh wait, I just got a notification. Yeah, I'm banned on
Maybe.
report. I wouldn't be surprised. No, it just says manage your stream from your
Oh,
phone.
you're still on.
Yeah.
I came back.
It turned off and turned back on. I don't know if
Oh.
maybe that's a Twitch thing
Okay.
or something.
But anyways.
Okay,
Sorry
yeah.
not to bring up the Menendez brothers. That's another one we'll do.
For sure. I'm just saying I don't think they deserve.
Long times have changed.
Yep.
And not to mention, they don't have a fucking dime to their name.
Not even a little bit.
They have nowhere to go. Well, their family might take them in because their family's advocating for
Hopefully,
them too.
yeah. Yeah, but yeah, sorry to go off on that tangent.
Yeah.
I'm really like, I really believe
I'm
that one right
passionate
there.
about that one
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I really think if Gypsy's free, there's no reason. I mean, it was been 33 years for them and then his brothers, like
Yeah.
33, 34 years.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, dude.
And they just allowed them to be back together.
Yeah. You know, but
They were separated for 22 years.
yeah. So, trying to remember where I was at. Sorry, things were getting more and more physically abusive. That's where I was.
Yeah.
The hitting was more, the starvation was more. So Gypsy also claims that her mom starved her.
Okay, how can your mom starve you when your mom's feeding you through a feeding tube?
Her mom, you know, obviously just doesn't put food in her
I
feeding tube.
I just don't believe any of it.
Fair enough, fair enough. Gypsy says that the murder...
Gypsy?
Dipsy?
Yeah, that's what I call
Oh, yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah. Alright, so Dipsy said that the murder was
Or
her
Gypsy,
idea
either one.
and that she planned it, the majority of it. I tacked him into it. She says, go to John, according to the Springfield News. She also answered why she didn't murder Dee Dee herself, claiming that she was too scared and didn't like the sight of blood.
Okay. Okay, little girl. Oh, she just infuriates me.
I know, this is pretty funny, because I can, like, just say a sentence, and I can literally, like, feel, right? Like, just the vitriol
I just
coming
want
from
to
you.
wrap my hands around her throat and shake!
Yeah, I know. So, the fear of her mother's retaliation prevented Gypsy considering going to the police, is what she claimed. She told the court, I didn't think anyone would believe me. I thought that they would eventually tell my mom more about that and make my home even.
But the problem herein lies. If you would have said something, they would have had to investigate. They would have took you away from her while they were investigating.
Yeah. That is true. But she says that she feared her mom more than she feared anybody else.
Oh my god.
That's what she says,
Her
right?
mom was sick at this time too. Also make that mention. Her mom was diabetic. Insulin diabetic.
Yeah. Actually, I'm happy you brought that up, because I remember we were actually talking about that almost like 2 months ago. Granted, I'm not advocating for killing someone, but if you are gonna really do it, right? She could have easily just like
Took her insulin.
Yeah, took her insulin.
Or overdosed her.
Yeah, you know, or something like that.
And then it would have looked like an accident.
Yeah. You know, I mean, she could have been smarter about this, but that just goes right back to what I was saying about how I think criminals, they have to be stupid to begin with to even think they could get away with killing. To even think they can get away with murder.
Well, she is Gypsy.
Very. So we're going to skip ahead to 2018. Go to John. He's found guilty, first-degree murder. He goes to jail for the rest of his life. And we've already been talking about that. I think that's bullshit. But he receives a life sentence without the chance of parole.
My opinion, Nicholas Godejohn should be in a mental institution.
Agreed.
I'm not saying he should be out walking the streets, chilling with whoever. The guy should be in a mental institution.
Oh, definitely. I definitely think
he needs
that.
to be somewhere where somebody can monitor him and medically take care of him.
But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of understand why he's in jail for so long. I think that I really think it depends on the whole, like, because they have evidence that shows that he did something sexual with Dee Dee's body, but they've never released that to the public.
And they won't.
And I'm sure they won't.
They won't.
But I think that that information there is what changes
I also
the
think
case. You know?
him saying for so long that he would do it again without hesitation changes the case.
Yeah, we know Gypsy groomed him. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
completely on board with that. I'm just saying, because we don't have that information, like I was trying to explain this to Barbara the other day, where maybe the way that the lawyers are thinking about this is, okay, well, Gypsy, you know, she didn't technically do the killing, she made the plan.
That's what she says.
Well, no, wait. Let me get there.
Okay.
So she did that and that, but Goto John did the actual killing and then did this horrendous act that nobody in the public knows, right? And so maybe the reason that they gave him more time was really because he did something else that was so horrendous, right, to Dee Dee. Like maybe he raped her before he killed her.
Or I think it was more or less he had sex with her dead body. Because that's what they said, remember? Because and even in that interview on the TV show, they said it, and in that one interview with him, they said, "What do you think of, what's it called? Necrophilia?"
Yeah, hey, Anton, like we are in agreement with you. We talked about that just a little while ago. Yeah, Gypsy definitely used him. We know that for sure.
Oh, and, I agree, 100%.
He definitely's got autism. He's got autism. Yes, we know that
he's bipolar.
Too. Yeah.
And there's speculation he's schizophrenic.
Yeah.
That's why I said he shouldn't be in prison. He should be in a mental institution.
So, yeah, you know, he goes to jail, and he gets life in prison. And Gypsy gets set free in the year of 2023. And married.
She was married to Ryan Anderson technically when she was still in prison. Poor Ryan.
So, in April of 2019, Gypsy gets engaged. According to statements from her family, the People magazine, sorry guys, Gypsy is now engaged. Marcel shares that the couple initially connected as pen pals and went on to date for a year and a half before deciding to take the next step. And didn't Gypsy go with him when she got out?
Yes.
Like, I think she met her family at first, but then she ended up...
Well, the thing is before Ryan ever came along, she was with the guy she was with now.
Yeah.
Ken. She was with Ken before Ryan. Ken broke it off with her. Because Ken didn't think she was ever going to get out of prison. And then she met Ryan, and her and Ryan just kind of did what they did.
Yeah, I think she totally used that guy just to get out of jail.
I do too.
That's what I think is going on there.
I do too.
You know, like...
Because now she's with Ken.
Yeah.
And they're having a baby, which they don't know if it's Ken's baby or Ryan's baby.
Man, it's an unsettling world we live in where Gypsy is like a literal celebrity now.
People look at her like she's a fucking celebrity.
Yeah, it's insane.
And that infuriates me.
Yeah. So I think that's all we really need to get into with that. And so before I cut off the stream or anything, is there anything else that like you want to get into with this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna let you have the floor for a minute then.
Because the problem here, the thing I want to bring up, and I don't want to go off on a wild long tangent, but okay. Dee Dee's mom abused her. Dee Dee abused her mom, or Dee Dee's mom was abused by her mom. Dee Dee was abused by her mom. Dee Dee abused her mom, and Dee Dee abused Gypsy. What is Gypsy going to do to this child?
Oh, that's what you're worried about?
God forbid Gypsy's child is going to come out and do to her what? Because the patterns are repeating.
True.
Dee Dee supposedly killed her mother. Gypsy killed her mother.
Well, she better never go to the hospital and try to say that her daughter has all these ailments that nobody else can see, because that probably would not be a good look on her.
No. But the problem lies is if this child gonna kill Gypsy? Is this child gonna get abused by Gypsy?
Did you see the first selfie of Freedom picture she took on Instagram when she first...
I did.
Oh my god, man. Doesn't she just look so smug in that picture?
Yes, she does.
You know, it feels like she thinks she fooled the whole world or something.
And you know what really sucks is I was one of the advocates for her. I wanted her out of there.
See, I hate to go back to this, but the reason this bothers me that she's free is because Charles Manson basically did the same thing, and he was not freed. So I almost feel like they look at her and they
different. How is what she did any different?
I mean, you know, obviously, I'm sure people are gonna be like, well, you know, he wasn't raped or not, you know, he wasn't abused as a child the way that Gypsy was, and yada yada. And I can understand that to an extent, but I don't think 10 years is enough time to start in this.
Okay, but speaking on Charles Manson and the family, those kids that he manipulated, they weren't all happy and had good home lives.
Yeah, true.
That's why they were following Charles Manson.
Yep, exactly.
And what was Nick Godejohn doing? Following Gypsy.
Yeah, she will probably have the chromosome disorder. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Is Gypsy's daughter is gonna be, you know,
God, I hope she doesn't have. I hate saying this, and please nobody get mad at me over this. I hope she has a miscarriage.
I mean, I don't want to wish that on anybody.
But God.
I mean,
oh my God. I'm just, fuck her.
yeah.
If you ever hear this, Gypsy, you are a piece of shit, and I hope you rot in hell when you die.
Damn, so strong words to end us off with.
Well, you know what's really harsh? Remember what they said, Dee Dee's family said they did with her ashes?
Oh,
They flushed them down the toilet.
yeah. Yeah, that was hilarious, man. That's so messed up, though. Don't you think?
It is messed up.
Man,
But
I can't.
hopefully
They did
somebody
say
does
that,
that
didn't they? They took
Yes.
Dee Dee's ashes and flushed them down the toilet.
That's what the grandma said. The step grandma, she was
Yeah.
like, flush them.
Man, that's pretty bad. That's
Nobody
pretty
even
bad.
wanted them.
Maybe that's why people think it's okay that she's free, because they're like, oh, well, no one liked Dee Dee anyways.
Yeah, but still.
Well, I mean, they really did say that that they flushed her down the toilet. So I mean, unless her sister came out and said that she has them, then I don't know if that one's true or not. I mean,
Well, I know she has some of them. Christy, Gypsy's stepmother, has
you
some
never
of them
flushed
too.
them, though, is what you're saying? I don't know. I'd have to look into it. Obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and try to claim something.
All I'm going to end this with on my part is, if Gypsy's out, free Lyle and Eric Menendez.
Yeah.
For the love of God, free the Menendez brothers.
Yep. Yeah, so everybody that's in here right now, thank you for coming by. You guys were awesome. We're probably gonna do this again with other cases if anyone's interested. So if you want to be there for it, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, this was Brandon. That was my girl Barbara. She also is known by AcrylicKitty. So please go ahead and visit her too, on Twitch. And thank you all for. I'll check that out. I'll check out the. All right, cool. Sounds good. So
Thank you.
everybody, take it easy. Have a great night.
And fuck you, Gypsy Rose.
And